Welcome back to the final episode of Project 613, where we will conclude our exploration of the 613 Mitzvot of the Torah as enumerated by Maimonides, today with the final 7. Number 1, in preparation for war, the priest known as the Meshuach Muhammad, the one anointed for the war, would address the soldiers. First, he would turn to those who are not able to fight in the battle, whether because of physical reasons or because of mental or emotional reasons, and he would tell them to go back home. Those who are not able to be on the front lines, it would not be a service for themselves or for their fellow soldiers for them to be on the battlefield. Rather, they need to go back home. The Torah specifically talks about 3 different types of people. Number 1, someone who built a home and has not yet dedicated it. Number 2, someone who has planted a vineyard and not yet benefited from its fruits. And number 3, someone who has betrothed a woman and not yet married her. All of these 3, their mind is preoccupied, and therefore they cannot be focused on the war. They should return home. Following this, the priest would turn to those who will be fighting on the front lines, and he addresses them to be courageous, to be hopeful that they will be victorious in the battle. And after this, of course, after this formal address, the army officers would repeat these words of encouragement to those who are going to battle. The next 2 mitzvot that we learn have to do with the responsibilities of a newly married man during his first year of marriage. The Torah says that a newly married man needs to remain home for a full year to be joyous together with his wife. Therefore, he should not travel on faraway journeys, and he should not join the army. And the parallel prohibition to this is that it's forbidden to cause a man in his first year of marriage to have to go to war, and therefore it's forbidden for him to be conscripted to join the army. We then have a mitzvah on all of the soldiers who are going to war to be courageous, to be hopeful, to trust that they will be victorious in the battle. The final 3 mitzvot that we learn have to do with something called the Eshet Yefat Torah. And what this means is that the Torah gives a certain allowance to soldiers on the front lines to enter into a relationship with a woman from the enemy territory even before marriage. And if following this relationship the woman wishes to convert, then she can continue to live with the soldier as a married woman. And this is a law of the Yefat Torah, and there are many details and specifications and conditions of when and how this mitzvah could be fulfilled. And then there are 2 prohibitions that have to do with this. Number 1, that if this soldier chooses not to marry this woman after being in a relationship with her, he is not allowed to keep her as a slave for himself. And number 2, it is forbidden for him to sell her in captivity, that she should be a slave for someone else. Rather, he has to treat her with dignity and respect. And with this, we have concluded all of the 613 mitzvot of the Torah, and I want to take this opportunity of wishing a huge mazel tov to everyone who has taken part, who has studied and followed along with Project 613. Mazel tov, mazel tov.